Standard Speaker sports editor Dave Seaman is here to talk local sports with us. It's another Dave Day on Community NEPA News. And Dave, you've been covering the District 18 10 to 12-year-old Little League All-Star Tournament throughout. I went to my first game in the championship round as Valley West playing Hazel Township. That was over the weekend. We're recording this on Monday. They'll play the championship game on Tuesday, so look for coverage of that on SSP TV News and in the Standard Speaker. But Dave, down at Valley West at Whispering Willows, you just mentioned the scene and how many people were there and what a game it was too. I mean, that was exciting. I know we have the championship really still to come, but just talk about the scene a little bit and the excitement around these two teams.
Yeah, there's nothing like Little League Baseball that brings out communities. I've said it from day one. It's a harken back to old days when you talk about community against community like the old high schools used to be. So I think the old timers, if I can use that phrase, they follow the Little League tournaments pretty closely. Talk about going back, Valley West and Hazel Township. That's a rivalry that's going back to the mid-'90s, back when Russ Cancel was playing, and Hazel Township had a dynasty there in the mid-'90s. They won 3 straight district championships, and players like Ryan DeCosmo and Scott Bisco and Joe Generos come to mind, and Pat Dolan, and a lot of outstanding players. I'm missing some. Chris Leib and the late Aaron Resnick too for Hazel Township, and the Dempsey brothers, Fran and Kyle Dempsey. So they had some dynamite teams there, and Valley West has always had a super program, and of late they've been the dominant team in the district. So to see them get together and see them play in front of a large crowd like that, it brought out a lot of people, and the atmosphere was fantastic. It was a great representative of the area.
Dave, Hazleton Area Sports Hall of Fame started running some profiles in the Standard Speaker for this next upcoming class. Now, you had an article last week on David Russell, Weatherly soccer standout. I played against him, Dave, at Bishop Hayfair. I remember we had a exhibition game before the season against them, and that's all we talked about. And I was going to be guarding David Russell, and it was this big thing. I don't think he played in the game. I was all amped up, and then I felt I was so relieved when the day rolled around. And I was like, oh, he's not playing today. This is great. Whew, can relax a little bit. But you mentioned just some of his achievements. 94 goals in one season in his senior year, 2002. 203 goals over his career. I had 2 goals my entire career, Dave, so that's very impressive.
Yeah, you're close. I mean, you're really close. But
give me a few more years.
Yeah, he made a name for himself in the sport of soccer. Nobody, not only in this region but throughout the state, have been able to put up the numbers that he has. He did throughout his career, and then he carried that on at Lock Haven University. He had a fabulous career there, and I honestly thought he should have been inducted into the Hall of Fame a while back, because his numbers bear that out. It's just not only a testament to him and his school that he played for Weatherly, but the sport of soccer as well. Because and there are other soccer players that are out there that deserve that same recognition. But if you want to put somebody at the top of the list, Dave Russell is certainly there.
Dave, the U.S. women win the World Cup, and talk about in dominant fashion, business-like fashion, just always taking care of business in that tournament. After they win, Dave, there's chance of equal pay in the stands with the men's team. They took a stand on a number of issues, did not back away from anything. Megan Rapinoe was at the forefront of that. She wins the Golden Boot Award, most goals, also the MVP award, so there's a star there. Future is bright also with players like Crystal Dunn and Rose Lavelle, but this women's national team, a target on their backs, not only as defending champions, Dave, but people were talking about that big win they had to open up the tournament. You had the celebration with Alex Morgan sipping the tea against England, but no matter what, they just rose to the occasion every single time.
What made it even more, I think, dynamic this year was the competition they had. Just too deep of a squad, too much talent for now. But I think the European teams are coming, and U.S. women got to keep their game on, because definitely teams are going to be coming for them in the near future.
Yeah, talk about the depth on this team. You had Carly Lloyd coming off the bench, and she scored, I think, a few goals in one game to help them out. It was just the people you were seeing come off that bench for the U.S. had to be so. Kristen Press had a big goal, and she was starting for Megan Rapinoe when Rapinoe was injured. That was impressive. You know what else was impressive, Dave? Corey Coco Gauff out at Wimbledon over across the sea. I don't usually pay attention to tennis. This story had me paying attention. And Dave, it was because of an interview I saw on the Today Show. They were talking about this 15-year-old, and it was the day of her match. They were talking to her like that morning, and she was just so calm, so cool, so collected. And from the other feature stories I watched, that's just her. But her mom also pointing out, hey, she's still a kid, having fun during her Wimbledon run that finally came to an end in the 4th round.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what she was been able to accomplish too, and that just sheds light not only again on her sport, but just young people in general. If you want to do something, it's out there for you, and credit to her, and it's also a big boost, dare say for minorities too, because she took her cue from Venus and Serena Williams, and she's picked up the mantle right now, and her future is nothing but bright, and her best days certainly ahead of her, and it's a boon for U.S. tennis, and I look forward to seeing her in the future.
Yeah, Dave, I think there's a mural over in Florida now too to inspire a younger generation to, hey, shoot for the stars and why not. Also, I learned she's a big Marvel Comics fan, so that's pretty cool. You gotta like the personality there. Hey, read Dave's work in the Standard Speaker. Remember the big Little League Championship game is on Tuesday. We'll have coverage Wednesday in the Standard Speaker and also here on SSP TV News.